Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for day 2 of the Summer League. This video may look a little different. I did forget my laptop. I was traveling, so I have to make this on iPad. But I want to talk about, first let me go over my early only lineup. I didn't really talk about the early only slate in my video, but I just wanted to bring this up. Turned $10 into 200, so I can't be mad at all about that. Even with DJ Wilson not playing, almost won a GPP with a 0 in my lineup. So, like I said, that was you can't really complain about that. But the main slate, that was kind of a nightmare. I'll show you guys my lineup here. So we had one games get completely canceled. We had two games end like mid game because of that earthquake. But yeah, this is my lineup here. I ended up going with Zion eventually here. I felt like there's enough value after roster construction. A guy like Devon Reed, a guy like Kostas Antetokounmpo, Isaiah Hicks is kind of cheap, so I felt like there's enough value where I could fit in Zion. Unfortunately, he got injured, only played 9 minutes, so not much you can do about that. Let's see, Shaq Harrison was a guy I brought up in my video. I liked him in the mid tier. Kostas brought him up, but only played 14 minutes. I want to say he got injured too. I was keeping track of the game, trying to watch it a bit. I saw he came in for like 30 seconds, then came right back out. So I want to say he got injured too, and then never returned. Isaiah Hicks, he was a guy that once the starters got announced for Charlotte, they got announced early. One of the few teams who announced the starters early. That's another thing here in the Summer League is the reporting has been really bad. We haven't been getting starting lineups till like after lock, so it's been been kind of a headache trying to figure this stuff out. But Charlotte was one team that announced the starters beforehand. I said on Twitter I liked Hicks at his price point. Christian Wood, that was just really frustrating. There's no news of him, not playing at all. And then after lock got announced, ruled out. So again, not much I can do there. It's just pretty frustrating. Kobe White was a rookie I brought up. Thomas Robinson was a cheap guy, but again, that game got cut short. So still though, I almost, even with this lineup, injuries, a guy not playing, a game getting cut short, I still was like a few points away from cashing. So Summer League kind of crazy, but yeah, that's basically what happened last night. So let's see if we can break down the slate today, for the main slate at least. We got a 5-game slate starting at 7 o'clock. So let me talk about point guard first here. So Aaron Holiday, Indiana, I think is the only team so far that has announced their stars for today. We got Aaron Holiday, Edmund Sumner, Brian Bowen, Elise Johnson, and Jalen Johnson. Aaron Holiday was pretty good in the Summer League last year. Even got some minutes for Indiana in the regular season. He's a spend up that I think, if there's enough value, he's a guy you want to consider spending up on because he just has some pretty big upside. So I do like him. Frank Jackson, a guy that I brought up in my video last time, but I was like, I don't want to go too Pelican heavy with Zion and Christian Wood. Of course, you got Christian Wood, didn't even play, and then Zion got hurt. So Frank Jackson went off in limited time. I think he had 30 points through like 3 quarters. At 8.1K, he's going to be a guy that's going to be asked to do a lot in this offense. So have no issue with him. Norvell here at 7.8. Played pretty decent in this first Summer League game in 28 minutes, got 15 points, 5 assists, 1 board. He's kind of the main guy in the Lakers offense right now. I don't mind him. Let's see. Edmund Sumner. Again, for the Pacers, we at least know the starting lineup, so we can feel safe targeting some of these guys. He's a guy in the mid-tier range that, I think is a pretty solid option here. Let's see. So Cam Payne, he started and played really well here for Dallas. And played 27 minutes, got 18 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. At 6K, his price didn't really move, so he's another guy in the mid-tier that I'm definitely considering. Let's see, Derek Walton Jr. here. He's gonna be on the Clippers, a Summer League team. If he gets minutes, I think he'll be a pretty solid option here in the mid tier. If he starts again, if guys don't start, you never know. It's a Summer League. It's risky. You see what happened with Christian Wood. Some guys just won't even play. And again, the reporting has been really bad. So there's probably going to be even, another day or two where we just get screwed with a guy that gets ruled out after lock. That's just going to happen in the Summer League. But yeah, let's see. As far as these other cheap guys, There's one other guy I did want to bring up. Oh, a few guys here. So Daryl Macon here at 4.7, started for Dallas, played close to almost 30 minutes, and was pretty solid when he got time. 16 points, 4 assists, 1 board, 1 steal. At 4.7K, he's a value guy that if he starts again, I think he's a pretty solid option here. Let's see, and then Trayvon Blewett, basically at the flat minimum price, started and played, I think he had like 18 minutes through 3 quarters, but at 4.1K, basically flat minimum price, if he starts again, I like him as a value play. Chris Chiozza, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Definitely botched that, but he played in the Summer League last year, and he was actually a pretty decent value play. Still, priced pretty accordingly at 4.7. If he starts, he would be another guy that I would consider for sure. Okay, let's move on here to shooting guard. So, shooting guard's a little tricky here. You got Jerome Robinson at the top for the Clippers. He got a little action in the regular season. Played in the Summer League a bit too. I think he's okay. Jordan Poole is another guy I brought up in my video last time. He's a guy that's very high risk, but does have upside if his shot's falling. Shot the ball 19 times in 29 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to be going that way, but he does have some upside. Devon Reed, I liked him when he was mid-price, 6.6K. Don't think I can do that. Let's see. Is this Rashad Vaughn? It is Rashad Vaughn. He's kind of a veteran in the league. I don't know if he would, start and play minutes, but if he starts at 5.4K, he's a guy I would consider. Again, starting lineups are huge, guys, and the reporting's been really bad, so hopefully it's better today and we get some starting lineups before roster lock. Cleveland here for Dallas played. What did he play? 25 minutes, scored 22 points. Was really solid at 5K. I feel like a lot of people are going to chase him, so maybe he'll be a little popular. But I don't think he's the worst option here in the mid tier. And then that's basically about it for shooting guard. So let's move on to small forward. Troy Brown Jr. Was a guy that played really well for Washington this summer last year. Even got some minutes. Picked up a few starts in the regular season for Washington when they were really injured. But he's a guy that is going to shoot the ball a bunch when he's out there. If his shot's not falling, then he can definitely hurt you, like here in the Summer League last year against the Clippers, where he played 31 minutes and only got 16 fantasy points. If his shot's falling, he's got like 40 fantasy point upside in him. So he's a guy, again, more risky. Let's see. Gary Clark here for Houston. He played some pretty significant minutes for Houston in the regular season. And if he starts and plays in the Summer League, again, we don't know if he's even going to play. We don't have like any starting lineups confirmed basically besides the Pacers. But if he starts at 5.7K, I think he's a pretty solid mid-tier play. Let's see, Kostas Antetokounmpo. Don't think I can go back there just because the minutes were not there. He was solid in his time, but I think either he got injured or the coach really hates him. So I don't think I can go back there. Okay. Let's move on to power forward here. So you got Zion, and I honestly don't think he's going to play today just because, again, he had knee-to-knee contact, and they set him out for the rest of the game. It's a back-to-back, so I really don't expect him to play. But right below him, I like a lot of power forwards here. This is where I feel pretty confident. Bruno Caboclo here at 7.9. He's a guy that saw some pretty significant run for Memphis in the regular season. So if he starts and plays here in the Summer League, he's a guy that should do pretty well here. So he's a spend up I'm definitely considering. Then you got Chris Boucher. Really like this play here at 7.5. He was the kind of end of the bench guy for Toronto last year, but whenever this guy gets minutes, he just crushes it. So he's a guy, in 24 minutes, put up 36 fantasy points, 22 minutes, put up 37 fantasy points. So if this guy gets minutes, he produces. So I do like him quite a bit. Ivan Robb started a lot of games from Memphis. If he starts, you never know. Maybe Memphis doesn't play some of their, I guess, more veteran guys in the Summer League, but if he starts, I like him a lot here at 7.4K. He was really good for Memphis in the regular season, so he should dominate there in the Summer League. Devontae Kakak here, he got some good run off the bench for the Lakers last night, and he's another guy that when given time, he just produces. So I know the stats aren't really coming up there, but he had a double-double, I think, in about 20 minutes. And he's a guy that picks up some blocks and steals. He was actually pretty good in that pre-Summer League as well. So he's another guy that I do like. Hartstein, he was in the end of the bench for Houston in the regular season last year. He was pretty solid in the Summer League when given minutes. So at 6K, he's another guy I'm considering. And power forward is definitely my favorite position. I'm going to try to load up. Probably get 3 power forwards, to be honest, just because I like a lot of these guys below Zion. Isaiah Roby, perfectly fine. He's their rookie. He played some pretty decent minutes. They're not coming up, but I think he played close to 30 minutes. Was pretty productive when he's out there, so he's another guy I'm considering. Elise Johnson here at 5.6. He's a cheaper guy that I do like quite a bit. Again, we know he's starting. He's Indiana's like the only team that announced their starting lineup, but I assume he plays right around 25 minutes or so and was pretty productive when given, about that time last year. So at 5.6K, I do like him as a cheaper option. Let's see. A Wattenby here. Another guy that was on the end of the bench for Memphis in the regular season. Played a little bit in the regular season, not much, but he's a guy. He had a big game in that the pre-Summer League from July 1st to the 3rd. He had a pretty big game. So I like him quite a bit here, 5.3 if he starts. I assume, Memphis does have some power forwards. They got Caboclo, Ivan Robb, and Wattenby. I don't know if all 3 can start, but all 3 of those guys I do like quite a bit just because we know what we're getting from them. We've all seen those guys get action in the regular season, so I do like those guys. Okay, let's move on to center. So Christian Wood, the big disappointment again. Sorry if I talked to you guys on him. If he played, I really think he was going to crush. Now we got no Zion. I don't know if he's going to play today or not. We have no idea. I'm going to try to, keep track of it on Twitter. But, if he plays, I would like him at 7.7K, but we just don't know if he's going to play. Let's see. Other centers. Honestly, not a whole lot, I feel confident in here. You got Jeff. Is this Jeff Withey? It is Jeff Withey. He's kind of a veteran guy. If you start, I would say, if any of these starters here or any of these centers start, that's when I would definitely consider them. But again, we don't know the starting lineup besides Indiana. But if any of these guys pick up a start, I think they're all pretty solid options. Don't know a whole lot about a lot of these guys, but if some of these guys in the 4K range pick up a start, I think they would be well worth that salary there. But again, for me right now, I want to, on this slate at least, I want to load up on power forwards. I like a lot of these power forwards, so I'm definitely going to try to get 3 of those guys in my lineup and go from there. Spend ups. Again, I don't know if Zion plays. If he does, he's a spend up you could consider. Aaron Holiday, Frank Jackson, some of those power forwards I talked about. That's where I kind of want to go with, paying up for salary here. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Again, try to be as active as you can on Twitter. I will do my best to be active as well and retweet information when I get it. Again, hopefully teams are a little better about releasing starting lineups before lock. But again, Summer League, there's always risk. Don't go huge. There's always risk, guys. Just get DNPs like DJ Wilson in the early only. Get Christian Wood in the main slate. It's just going to happen in the Summer League. So just be cautious with your money. Don't go too crazy. And yeah, I'll be back for another video on Sunday. So I will see you guys then.